what could you leave them with? And then I wanted to ask you about, how are you coaching? How are you conducting these sessions in your world? But what could you leave the audience with in terms of here are some simple steps or practical strategies that once you've recognized what burnout is or how to prevent to get into that phase, what can they do? The awareness, yes, but some practical steps that might be beneficial before they get into, a deep dive of understanding that this is actually useful for me.
For sure. I think starting small is always the key. And yes, I mentioned that study with the 30 minutes just to kind of show what is possible when somebody is in it. They were in the study, they had agreed to meditate for that long period of time. But I think our amygdala would completely shut down, which is the alarm center in the brain. If somebody who'd never meditated before, if they were presented with the idea of you got to do 30 minutes or nothing, they would say, I'm doing nothing. And so for almost all of my clients, we start with 2 or 3 minutes a day. And we literally just start with like a pranayama or breathwork practice because that can actually bring them into regulation very quickly. It can actually create a neural pathway where they can sit for another 2 or 3 minutes. And so I would say if you are not accustomed to a meditation practice, 5 minutes is a great place to start. 2 minutes of noticing your breathing is a great place to start. You don't need anything fancy. You don't need any of these fancy, like, I don't know, I've seen goggles or like head, like you don't need any of that. It's already always there. And you don't need to go find a banyan tree. Just, if you want to try it out, you can certainly try any of the apps that are out there. There are lots and lots of apps that are out there. But a lot of times there's a trap within the apps I've found, which is interesting in that people get this idea that every time it has to feel really novel. And so they spend like 4 out of their 5 minutes looking for and picking out the most perfect meditation. And then they only have like 1 minute to meditate. And so I always like just keep it simple. Just turn on a timer, do, whatever it is, just sit down and close your eyes and notice your breath and notice your thoughts and you're done.